Hi, I'm Ravi, and this message is for students of hospitality studying at the Foodcraft Institute in Assam. Bordali ma'am, Gautam sir, and the rest of your faculty are concerned for your welfare. I understand some of you have passed out of the institute and are looking for work. Some are still studying, and some of you have been keen on joining the hospitality industry and getting started at the FCI. Now, as you know, the industry is experiencing a lot of pain. Restaurants, hotels, catering companies, airlines, cruise line companies, and all sorts of business in this sector are affected. And you and your parents may be concerned about what your career prospects are in future. So I've put together a few thoughts which I'd like to share with you, 3 specific thoughts for your consideration. So the first one is look around you. What is going on? There's so much of uncertainty. No one on the planet can see things clearly. Now let me give you an example of what happens when we can't see things. If I ask you to take your handkerchief and tie it around your eyes like a blindfold, and then I ask you to do something, will you be able to do it? No, it's not easy, but you can. If you need to, you can. How do we do that? We extend our arms, we try and put our feet forward, and in that manner, we try and feel our way around. So the entire environment, everyone is trying to feel their way around. Whether it is governments across the world, whether it is doctors, whether it is entrepreneurs, no one can see the complete picture. Everyone is trying to put pieces of the puzzle together. Everyone is interconnected in society. We are one united race of humanity trying to defend ourselves against this virus. Now you might say that some industries are doing well, some industries are doing poorly, and some industries are doing very badly just now. That may be true, but it's only temporary. Don't judge an industry based on what is happening just now. So for example, if you say that essential goods and services are doing very well, let me switch, let me move my career to that sector. I'd like you to understand that if you look at the essential services and the way things have happened, the way purchases have happened in that sector, right at the time when COVID started, and if you remember in the West, there were a lot of people buying toilet rolls, for example. And everyone thought, fantastic, toilet rolls must be a great business, they're doing very well. But actually the consumption of toilet rolls did not increase. What happened was more people were buying toilet rolls, hoarding them, not using them, hoarding them in case they run out of it. Similarly, in various parts of the world, including in India, whether it was vegetables or dal chawal or whatever it was that we were trying to purchase, there were phases in which many people were trying to buy more and hoard. But that doesn't mean that the consumption of those products went higher. Remember that everyone in society is experiencing a challenge in confidence as far as health goes and as far as wealth goes. So because we are concerned for our health, we don't go out that often, we don't go out that much. In terms of wealth, we don't know where the next income is going to come from. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an employee, no one knows. Is this going to be consistent? So people are being very conservative about their spending. They're not spending more. So we hope that sectors which are doing all right, like essential services, will help lift up the rest of the industry, because a churn of money is required to make things happen. But what I'd like to say in this first point simply is, as a society, we are interdependent on one another, and as a result of which, you are not alone. The second thing that I'd like to share is my thought on all these comments about will the hospitality industry survive, and if it does, what is going to happen in what time frame is it going to happen? So here's my thought on this. The first thing is that it's a fact that many businesses are in such a bad condition that despite good leadership, they are going to die. Now, just because a business dies doesn't mean that the people associated with it, their careers, will die with that business. No. If an entrepreneur kills his business because he has to at this point in time, has to shut down, he has many choices. He may say, I want to shut down business permanently, in which case I will join another business as an employee or as a consultant. But most entrepreneurs, I would imagine, who have had to shut down their business during this period of time, will find a way to either restart their business in a new avatar or then start a completely new business which is more aligned to the marketplace as of today. And in both these cases where he's starting a new business, opportunities for jobs will open out. That's where y'all come into the picture. The other kind of entrepreneur is someone who is not an entrepreneur currently, but wants to take advantage of this situation today, knowing that history in humanity, whenever there has been a recession, like the Great Depression, for example, many great businesses have been built during that period of time. So why not build their entrepreneurial dreams at this point in time? Many people I know are thinking about that. Some of them are choosing one option, which is to buy out an existing business. And others are choosing the other option, which is to start a new business completely from scratch. These are another two set of examples where opportunities for work for all of you exist. So you could have that opportunity soon. It need not be after 1 year or 2 years. But even if it is after 1 year or 2 years, what I'd like you to understand that if it takes that long for the entire industry to stabilize, and it may, if you happen to be in that position, remember, if you're starting your career at the age of 20, for example, and you retire at the age of 60, for instance, that's an entire career of 40 years. And 1 year or 2 years of a gap or of ups and downs within that period is nothing significant. It's not the end of the world. You have a lot to do. So remember, the industry is here to stay, and time frames are something that you perceive. You can decide how you are going to look at those time frames. The third thought that I wanted to share with you is, what do you do with your time just now? What can you do to prepare yourself for a better tomorrow? Now, there are two things that I suggest. One is work outward, and the other is work inward. By working outward, I'm referring to your efforts to reach out to people to look for work, if that is what your aspiration is. But before working outward, you need to prepare yourself inward. And by that I mean you need to keep your body, your mind, your spirit active. Because if you don't do that, then when there is a job opportunity, say there's an interview, for instance, and if you're not feeling confident, if you're not in a positive frame of mind, you will not put your best foot forward. And even if you manage somehow to get a job just now, but you're not fit, you will not be able to deliver, and you won't be able to keep that job for very long. So the first thing is, look after your operating system. That is, like I said, your body, mind and spirit, without which you cannot operate, you cannot perform, you can't do anything. There are three short things in each of them that I believe may help. They've helped me, and I hope that they can help you. In terms of looking after your body, I find that rest is important. You're working yourself hard just now, doing a lot of stuff in the house possibly, or other things, or maybe you're not. Look out for how much you're resting. Look after your nutrition, your diet, what you're eating. Don't just snack too much. And most importantly, exercise. All these three are important to keep your body in balance. The next thing is your mind. I find that this is one of the hard things to do for most people. If you're feeling low, you need to lift your thoughts, then you need to think back of those times when you achieved something worthwhile. Because if you remember those times, they will make you believe in yourself better. They will make you realize, yes, I've done this in the past, I can face this, I can take on anything. So if you're feeling low, this helps. The other thing is that I feel that getting rid of negativity is very important. There's an example that I heard, I don't know if it is true, but the story goes that Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhi, received a whole bunch of abusive letters, and he browsed through it and tore them all up and threw them away, but retained with him the clip that held all these papers together. And the lesson from that is that throw away the negative things which are useless to you and keep the positive, useful things. Now I know in life, practically this is easier said than done, but if you start making an effort, you'll reach somewhere at least. Make that effort. And as far as the mind goes, training the mind, the third thing that I'd like to say is, what I do is make a list. I would suggest that you take your phone and think to yourselves at some point, what are my short-term goals? Enlist them, both personal and professional. What are my long-term goals, both personal and professional? How will I reach them? You need to start thinking along these lines. Keep it on your phone and look at it every day. And not just look at it. See what action you can take to reach your goals. Small steps. That's very important in building your future. And the third thing is spirit. How do you lift your spirit? There are many, many ways to lift the spirit. And some of them that I find interesting are, you have a hobby, you lighten your mood, you reboot yourself, you try and help people whenever you can. If possible, try and help at least one person each day, I would suggest. It could be as simple as helping someone in your home. It could be as simple as picking up the phone and speaking with an old friend, especially someone who may be lonely at this point in time, who may not be with his family or with anyone. So be thoughtful, try and help out someone, and try and spend some time with nature. I find if we follow these kind of practices that will build our body, mind and spirit, then our operating systems will work better, and then we can look outward and work outward towards reaching out to other people. You know, in terms of reaching out, in its original form, there was this concept called 6 degrees of separation, which means that you know someone, who in turn knows someone, who in turn knows someone, like that. And you finally reach the person who can help you. So today it's called networking. So call it whatever you want, but reach out to people. And I'd say these two things, whether it's working inward or working outward, do it with a certain rigor, a certain discipline, day after day. I remember when I was in school, I was in the NCC, the National Cadet Corps. And one of the first things that they taught us was clean your rifle, make your bed, polish your shoes to the level that you can see your face in them. And I thought it is a part of discipline and the culture of the NCC, and that was true. But what it benefited me with later in life was that I knew that if I can do small tasks and do them well, then I can do big tasks also, and I can do them well. So that helped build confidence. So I'd suggest that you remember all these things, remember that you are not alone. We as a society are in this together. The industry is here to stay, it's not going to die. If you have any urgency of earning some money and you can't wait till you get something, get another job anywhere. But don't allow your dream to die. If it's really your dream to work in this sector, it's an enjoyable sector and very gratifying when you're serving people or when you're feeding people, and you really feel that you've touched someone's life. So give it a shot, be patient, and remember, your journey, whether your personal one or your career journey, is going to be a long one. Try and make it wonderful. Try and make it enjoyable. And take each step in the right direction so that you can traverse that journey well and that you will enjoy it, you will relish it. So I wish you great success, and I wish you positivity, and be safe and be well, and I wish you a glorious journey. All the best.